We're really honoured that the RCN conference is in Glasgow, my home city this year. It's great that one of their debating subjects this will be about carers. At the last conference, they decided that carers would be dedicate part of one of the days to discussing and debating carers. And I'm really proud to be invited to give the keynote talk. I'll be speaking about caring for my mum, but speaking from the Alliance about how we work in rights and that carers have a right to a life out with caring. But it's also quite an emotional time for me as well. So it's in Glasgow, it's the 100th anniversary, and I'm going back to a bit of my previous life. In my previous life in music, I've been in that venue many times working. I took my mum there to a couple of concerts of bands, and my mum and my dad. And now I'm going back there to speak about caring for my mum who had dementia. So I'll be putting a call out to the RCN to how we support people living with dementia, their families and their carers. And I'll be asking the delegates that day to tell us how they will do that, and hopefully working with the RCN after it on all the pledges and how we take them forward and how we absolutely support each other to make them a reality.
Well, I think every single individual pledge that's made adds up to a transformation in how we care for people with dementia and the people who care for them. Meeting you changed my life, and meeting your mum was one of the most special moments in my life. And as long as I'm in politics and as long as I've got any influence in government, my pledge is to help and support people who are working so hard to make life better for people with dementia.
The wider international community are interested in what we're doing, and I think it's really important that we're demonstrating top-class practice in hearing the voices of carers and making change as a result. And I just would want also to assure all the staff of NHS Scotland that I'm completely supportive of them giving their testimony as to what they will do in relation to this programme. So to me, it's about hearing voices and answering to these voices that we hear.
We've got pledge trees in hospitals and colleges and universities and buildings, celebrating but reminding people of their pledge, but also encouraging people to look at them and have conversations every couple of months about them, about how you're getting on with your pledge and or what are the barriers, or how do we support each other to make them a reality.
You know, it's not that long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, people weren't aware of that message. People with dementia were actually invisible in hospitals and in wards. And I think now we're bringing people, using the campaign and Tommy's work and the rights-based approach, we're bringing people out of the shadows, and we're saying that people with dementia have rights. And we have to uphold those rights, and they're no longer invisible.
It's about taking more time to get to know people. I think we all do. I did as well. You know, I cared for my mum for 5.5 years, and I'd like to sit and say I was an amazing carer every day, but the struggles it brought, the loneliness we felt, and the fear often made me forget sometimes why it can lay a burden on you, and I think to try and is to remind people about why they're doing it. So lots of the things are I'd like to spend more time to get to know people's life stories. So often we think we're doing the right thing, we're getting up and doing work, but how did that conversation go? So in some of the letters that people write to me, someone said, you know, what I'd really like is just to people have a kind, human, understanding ear. And I think sometimes we forget how critical and crucial and important conversations are. Also for us, it's about really changing that conversation away from looking at, but conversing with people and asking what's the matter with you. We really want them to change that conversation, to flip it, to ask people what matters to you and who matters to you. If you have that conversation, it'll allow you to be together, create the best environment, the best opportunities and the best conversations about care.